Mariah was born September 2nd, 1996 in Columbus, Georgia, and graduated from George Washington Carver High School in 2015. She would go on to attend Columbus State University to study criminal justice and become a prosecutor. Her other passions included fashion and modeling. On September 13, 2015, 11 days after Mariah's 19th birthday, the teen was shot on the 1000 block of 16th Street. She was driven to Midtown Medical Center and required surgery, which was unsuccessful. Mariah was pronounced deceased at 12:28 a.m. on September 14th. A witness told police shortly before midnight he heard 3 gunshots and saw a man getting into a white car. He was able to give a brief description of the man and car type. Police would also question the man who brought Mariah to the hospital. His name was Josh, and he only met Mariah that night. He claimed that they had corresponded via phone before they finally met, but this was the first time he had ever seen her in person. That night, Mariah picked Josh up and they drove to Phoenix City to buy liquor from a man. When they arrived at the house, Mariah's friend exited the car. As he did, he saw a man walk up to Mariah's car and open fire. The friend ran back towards Mariah and drove her to the hospital. A background check into Josh's life raised concerns for the police as Josh was just released from jail hours before Mariah picked him up. After hearing about Mariah's passing, another friend went to the police station pointing the finger at a potential suspect. In the conversation, she mentioned Mariah's 18-year-old ex-boyfriend, Demetrius Dorsey. The pair met 2 months before at a house party in Phoenix and began dating. Demetrius came from a different background than Mariah. He wasn't seeking to improve himself or his life. A neighbor even described him as a troubled man. During the relationship, Demetrius became physically abusive, possessive, and jealous, causing Mariah to end the relationship. Demetrius attempted to win Mariah back by begging, but when that didn't work, he resorted to threats. He told Mariah he would beat her up if she didn't come back to him. Mariah wasn't concerned about the threats and refused to get back into the relationship. Mariah's family had no idea about the abuse she suffered at the hands of Demetrius. They were more concerned about the relationship she had during high school, in which they believed was violent. When police questioned Mariah's previous boyfriend, he denied any involvement in the murder and stated he was at home in Columbus. His story checked out. Unable to find Demetrius, authorities searched on social media for clues and found that Demetrius was tagged in a post with a man named Tyrone. Tyrone was located and taken in for questioning. Tyrone claimed that on the day of the shooting, Demetrius found out Mariah was talking to another man. He wanted her to pay for this and believed he could find her at the house where the liquor was sold. The friend went with Demetrius and waited outside for Mariah to drive up. Once she arrived, Demetrius got out and opened fire. During the investigation, police discovered that Demetrius lived close to where Mariah was shot and owned a white vehicle. Text messages between Demetrius and Mariah showed him threatening to kill her less than 30 minutes before she was shot. Hours after Mariah's death, police arrested Demetrius and charged him with murder. Tyrone was slated to be the star witness for the prosecution but refused to testify. The prosecution offered Demetrius a plea deal, which the Farrell family was against, and so was Demetrius. However, Demetrius changed his mind and accepted the deal. The Farrell family did not have any say on whether they wanted the deal or not. After several delays, in 2019, Demetrius was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Mariah's father, Zachary, recalled the last time he spoke to his daughter. He said, "We went to church together on Sunday where we had my dad's funeral. She said she wanted to make some changes in her life to do better and that we both were going to start back getting together on Sundays to go to church as a family." Hours later, she texted him, "I really enjoyed myself." There is an alarming rate of teenage girls being abused by their teenage boyfriends. Some people are ashamed of what they went through and hide the abuse from their loved ones. Mariah could have felt this way or felt it was no reason to tell her family because she intended to leave. In a 2-month span, Demetrius came into Mariah's life, a young woman with dreams and goals, and ended it. Her last conversation with her dad might have been a reflection of ending her relationship with Demetrius. She probably felt free and wanted to attract more like-minded people. Unfortunately, she didn't get that chance. Mariah knew her worth and stood her ground. She showed bravery and strength. May she rest in peace.